Before I start the video, I would like to give a massive shout out to my Patreons who have been supporting my channel. If you would like to check out my Patreon and receive early access to some very exciting videos coming soon, then please click the link in the description below. Hello everyone and welcome to the Nerd Den here, and today we are going to be talking about the plot of Space Babies and talking about that ending, because Doctor Who came back on TV with a big bang, and that was Space Babies. And I will have my full review either coming today or tomorrow, talking about my full thoughts on the episode, obviously talking about spoilers. But speaking of spoilers, there will be spoilers obviously in this episode, because I'll be going over the plot itself and also talking about the ending, because yeah, there's kind of a few things that I want to go over, especially when it comes to the story arc and stuff like that. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into the video. Obviously, if you haven't seen the episode yet, watch it before watching this, because I'm going to be going over the plot and stuff like that. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so Space Babies basically picks off right at the end of the church on Ruby Road, and Ruby, well, she goes on her first trip in the TARDIS. And before they get into the main plot of the episode, there is a slight detour to the dinosaur age, which is very cool. From what I can recall, it was near where North America would be, and it was nice to see the visuals and stuff like that. It really showcased the budget increase that Doctor Who has had under Disney, and it was just so cool to just see that environment recreated and stuff like that, and it looked absolutely phenomenal. But before that though, there were mentions of the Doctor's past as well, not only just the Timeless Child story arc with the Doctor being a foundling and stuff like that, but also Gallifrey and the Time Lords, which does actually reoccur throughout the episode, which is a nice touch as well, but I'll be talking about that more in the review. But anyway, during the whole dinosaur detour, the Doctor and Ruby obviously step outside, and Ruby accidentally steps on a butterfly, which causes history to change because of the butterfly effect, and she becomes a reptile-esque creature. And this shot was already featured in the trailer, but thankfully the Doctor, with his magical touch, is able to resuscitate the butterfly and restore the original Ruby. So thankfully the menacing reptile Ruby isn't running around causing chaos and threatening to kill the Doctor or anything like that, which, you know, I'm glad it was quickly resolved. But anyway, they decide to go on another trip, and this resorts them landing on the space station. So when they arrive on the space station, they are greeted to the mysterious creature known simply as the Boogeyman. And this creature obviously is very terrifying. It's very menacing like, and it chases after the Doctor and Ruby before they find a little elevator shaft, and they get in there and they arrive at the top of the ship where the Space Babies are kept. Now these Space Babies, well, yeah, they are very unique because they can speak, they can talk, they are quite intelligent, they're able to do simple commands and essentially pilot the ship somewhat well, or do some stuff with the ship, which is pretty cool. But yes, whilst the Doctor and Ruby are speaking to the babies and trying to find out what's going on, they've realised that the adults have essentially left them for some unknown reason, and that they are being looked after by what seems to be an automated system known as Nanny. But things do take a turn though when the Doctor and Ruby decide to do some investigating, and they discover that the nanny on board is someone called Jocelyn, and she is obviously looking after the babies and stuff like that. And she tries to talk about the origins of the Boogeyman creature, but she doesn't remember how it got on board, which is brought up later on. But whilst the Doctor, Ruby and Jocelyn are all talking about the origins of the Boogeyman and what's going on with the ship, well, one of the little children, Eric, decides to go on a wander because of earlier Ruby basically said, confront your fears and the Boogeyman isn't real. Similar to, obviously, real world comforting when children are scared of nightmares and obviously the Boogeyman itself. And, well, things nearly take a bad turn, but thankfully Eric is okay, and the Doctor and Ruby rush down to the lower half of the ship and save him, which is good. And after a short little chase sequence and the other Space Babies coming down to help them, well, yeah, thankfully everything is somewhat resolved in that regard, but the Doctor and Ruby end up trapping the boogeyman without realizing, and Jocelyn decides to open an airlock to get rid of the boogeyman. But bearing in mind, just before this, the Doctor does figure out that the boogeyman is formed by all of the, well, essentially the bogies of the children, all the waste and stuff. And because of the genetic system that's on board the ship, the ship's computer got confused and basically created a terrifying creature that would essentially act as a stimulant to the children and create like a living nightmare. But at the same time, the monster is basically one of the children as well. But Jocelyn doesn't realise this and tries to get rid of the boogeyman through the airlock because she wants to protect the children. So the Doctor and Ruby decide to, go and split up. So Ruby goes and talks to Jocelyn, and the Doctor decides to do quite an heroic act, and he goes through the airlock and essentially shuts down the airlock and saves the boogeyman, which was quite an heroic deed indeed. And things are all restored. The space babies are reunited with Jocelyn, and everything is very happy from then on. But then this is the part of the video which I was looking forward to talking about. So obviously the Doctor and Ruby go back to Carla's, obviously Ruby's mum's house, and the Doctor is going to be introduced to Carla and Sherry Sunday as well for the first time properly, instead of just trying to pretend that he's like some mysterious traveller. But that doesn't happen on screen. But the main thing is the Doctor is scanning Ruby for some unknown reason, and we don't know why this could be. It's not alluded to, but there is more to Ruby Sunday than meets the eye, because the Doctor did also point out at the early parts of the episode that it is a bit of a coincidence that they've landed on a space station that is to do with abandoned children, and obviously Ruby herself was abandoned, and obviously so was the Doctor as well. So why is he scanning Ruby? Could there be more that meets the eye? Could she be a Time Lord? No one really knows yet, because obviously it is a bit of a cliffhanger of sorts, but it is very interesting on what goes down here, because, well, let's just say that the series finale will be heating up, and who is Ruby's mother? Who knows? But anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you are new around here, please click that like button and subscribe for more nerdy content, because, yeah, Doctor Who's back. I'm loving posting about the show, and I'm really excited for what's going to happen next. But anyway, take care, love you all, and peace.